Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we're going to be doing a reading from your spiritual team. We're going to be getting any messages that you need to hear right now. I really like doing these types of readings because it means that anyone can watch. No one has to feel like that's not my situation represented in the question, so I'm not going to have any messages from spirit in that reading. So it's really open. I'm not going in with any preconceptions about what spirit might say. I'm not focusing on any particular area of your life. We're just going to see what comes through. And as always, I want to say a big thank you to all of my lovely subscribers and to all of my lovely patrons as well, including Alexandra, Kelly, Joan, Cara, Mia, Nicole, Lena and Alison. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for your kindness. We do also have some new things for today's reading. A very lovely patron called Chrisanne very kindly sent in 2 sets of divination tokens or discs. This set is called the Eye of the Beholder, and this set is called the Charming Clarifier tokens. They're basically like, one set is like Pogs. Anyone who remembers Pogs. Really love this one. The hot air balloon. Hot air balloons always make me feel so happy. They're double-sided. And then the other set is smaller, so there's more of them. And they're like little tokens, again double-sided, with images on them. So I'm going to be using these in the reading alongside the charms and dice as always. So thank you so much, Chrisanne, for sending those. It's really, really kind of you. I love them. I've been getting to know them over the past few days, and I will be putting a link to Chrisanne's Etsy shop in the description box in case any of you are interested and would also like to get your hands on these lovely tokens. So let's take a look at the piles. I've got the Divine Circus Oracle deck on each of the piles. This is a deck that I don't really use very often. It hasn't appeared very much on my channel, although it's one of the first Oracle decks that I ever got. It's one of my favorite decks, and I think for a long time I didn't really use it in private readings or on YouTube because it was quite a personal deck for me. But I think I'd like to use more of it because it's just so beautiful. The artwork is gorgeous. I love the messages and the imagery. So if we take a look at the piles, pile 1 actually has card number 1 in this deck. It's meant for you. And we've got the Tarot of the Divine. Over on pile 1, you can just ask yourself, what does my spiritual team want me to know? What messages do I need to hear from spirit, from the angels, from the universe, whoever you're addressing? Today, from my patron deities, my ancestors, they're all bundled into a spiritual team. That's why I like to use that term. On pile 2, you have the Juggler, number 30, and the Tarot of the Magical Forest. And then over on pile 3, we've got Brilliant Virgin, number 5, and the, what's this one called? Sun and Moon Tarot. So take your time choosing whichever pile or piles you feel most drawn to. Don't choose your favorite card or deck, just choose the one that you feel drawn towards with your intuition, because that will give you the most accurate reading, and at the end of the day that's what we're here to do. So when you're ready, I will get started with pile number 1. Hey there group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose card number 1, meant for you, and the Tarot of the Divine, this is going to be your reading. We'll be getting messages from your spiritual team, all aspects of your spiritual team, to see what you need to hear right now, what guidance you need, maybe some understanding of the journey that you're on, the experiences that you're going through. So meant for you says, you've voiced your intent, setting in motion a natural creative process. What you want has been summoned forth and is now headed your way. Don't hesitate, refuse to receive, or pass this gift on to another. It is meant for you. Grab it. Within this new opportunity is exactly what you've been waiting for, what you've been wanting to create, what truly makes your heart sing. So there is some kind of new opportunity either currently in your life or very shortly about to enter into your life, group 1, which is really exciting. Some project being kickstarted or maybe being revived after a long period of being left on the back burner. New ideas after a time of writer's block or a lack of inspiration. new opportunities after a time of stagnancy. So we've got the World and the Fool, okay, that makes perfect sense, and the King of Pentacles. Interesting. So these all fit really nicely with your pile marker card. See, the World and the Fool are two opposite ends of the major arcana. They both talk about a situation coming to an end, some kind of completion, a time in your life where you can lay that previous chapter to rest. And then the Fool is this new beginning, this fresh start, this new outlook, basically, where you're open and you're ready to experience new things. The King of Pentacles is this Midas card where new opportunities are coming your way, and it would be best if you said yes to new things, or if you took opportunities without worrying about whether you are able to achieve them or bring them about. Sometimes we have the drive or the desire, like we have the opportunity to apply for that new job, for example, but we're so terrified that we're not going to be competent enough, or that we're not going to be able to keep up with the pace of the work or the big name of the company, maybe, that we feel very small and we think, why would they want me? There's no way I would be accepted, or if I was accepted, there's no way that I would be able to do that kind of work. You know, people would very quickly say that I wasn't a good match for the situation. We can really talk ourselves out of our own inspiration or our own intuitive desires or intuitive moves towards things. So I think that's partly what your spiritual team are getting at here, is that you do have these opportunities coming your way, and the best thing to do is to sort of grasp it without trying to push it away or make yourself feel smaller or make yourself feel unworthy. Two Dark Goddess cards here, Gaia Creation. So again, this big message of new things coming your way. And especially, I think from reading that guidebook a while back, I can remember that the Gaia card was talking about creation and remaining stable through times of real turbulence in life, where we feel like things are just completely spiraling out of control, like we have very little control over what's going on in our life. You also have Sedna, abandonment. Gorgeous Sedna there. And this could be talking about abandonment in your past that's making you feel like, I'm not worthy right now of the opportunities that are being put my way, like expecting people to look down on you maybe, or expecting people to be disappointed in you or to want to get rid of you once you've been taken on. This is the vibe that I'm picking up on. You've got that inspiration or that curiosity about what could happen, but there's this confidence issue that's holding you back, or there's this sort of negative mindset that's making you expect the worst or expect difficult experiences. It's very, very difficult to do, but I think trying to have more trust and faith both in yourself and in the universe or your spiritual team to guide you through the situation or to keep you safe in the situation is probably going to be helpful for you. But like I said, it's hard to do that when you feel like you're on your own, or to reframe your worries and focus on trust. It's a hard pattern to break, for sure. From the Kabbalah cards, the King Solomon cards, you have number 28. There we go. I like how there's a star on that card. Kind of suggests your star is rising to me. Let's look in the guidebook for number 28. That's not one that I've seen recently. So number 28 is delays, restraints, binding, locking. Okay, delay in the realization of plans and desires, blockages on the way to meet a goal, total attachment to something or someone that inhibits your progress, someone binds you powerfully to themselves and refuses to let go, everything is locked in front of you and you can't progress in the area. So the advice card says your struggle is lost in advance. Wait a while until the situation changes or until the environment is cleared from negative influences. Do not step forward until a hostile factor is out of the way. Turn to external help to break free from the current situation. So there we've got it, this message of blockages and something blocking your path that's hindering you from moving forward. So there's a need to deal with whatever that blockage is, whether it's external or whether it's inside of you, before you move forward, because you don't want group 1 to be carrying that burden or that blockage or that negativity into this new experience. So we need to get to the root of that situation and understand where it's coming from, why it's affecting you in the way that it is, so that it doesn't prevent your success and your fulfillment as you move into this new project or opportunity that we're seeing. But that star there is definitely showing you the opportunity that you have to really succeed. So yes, Chamber of the Violet Flame, karmic release, radical transformation. Wow. So there is something that needs to be let go of. Clearly this shift from fear, this shift from worry. I like the word karmic there because that suggests that this is something that can be dissolved, some kind of karmic tie or contract or influence that you're bringing forward, maybe from earlier in this life or maybe from a previous lifetime, that can now be consigned to that beautiful violet flame and removed from your life. Strawberry, immunity, vitality, radiance. Okay, so it's possible that this influence is not just affecting you in terms of your thoughts, but also in terms of your energy levels more tangibly. Like possibly you've been very run down, maybe you've been physically ill recently, maybe you are struggling with some form of mental illness, like not just a blockage of I can't do this, but maybe there's even depression or anxiety that's now starting to take hold. Maybe there's low mood, burnout, anything along those lines where you feel like it's gone beyond just the thought of the worry and it's turned into something that's affecting you longer term. You might want to do a meditation, group 1, where you envisage putting these contracts or these cords, or even visualizing a symbol that's representative of a situation or a relationship that you're in, or a mindset that you're in, or a behavior, and consigning that to the violet flame and seeing it just dissolve and purify and disappear back to its original source. Because often the original source of the worry or the burden or the blockage is not us ourselves, it's someone else, or it's a different situation. It's not something that we've caused. Shapeshifter, number 4, transformation, primal wisdom, instinct. So you've got this card and then you've got radical transformation. I would really expect very sudden change, group 1. I would expect changes to come in very unexpectedly, very swiftly. You might have felt like you've been waiting for change for a very, very long time. And when it happens, it's like so sudden. It's like your life changes overnight, or your life changes within the space of a week, and it's like you've been waiting years or months, or probably not weeks, I think it's years or months, for something to change, for some sign, for some opportunity. And that's been dragging on for so incredibly long, and now it's like that change comes and you get that job, or you get that relationship, or you get that lifestyle change in such a short space of time that it's like, oh my goodness, where has this even come from? Even though you've been waiting for it, or you've been praying for it, or hoping, or trying to manifest it, it just comes so suddenly that it's almost a shock to you. Wow, okay. Wow, okay. Group 1, your ancestors and passed over loved ones say go out and plant new life seeds, sow for your future. Number 23, they also say spread your wings and fly, we are proud of you. Number 13. So those fit so lovely together in terms of the message. You're being asked to basically become more of yourself, to grow, to learn, to not be afraid. Set your sights high is what I'm hearing. Your passed over loved ones and your ancestors want to see you achieving your true potential, and you might still even, you know, even after doing the violet flame meditation or asking for those cords to be removed, you might still start that new job or go into that new life or new relationship feeling like, when's something going to go wrong, you know, or I'm not really sure I can do this. But you're then able to catch yourself and say, look, I can, you know, maybe fake it till you make it, or maybe just remind yourself that you can and redirect your thoughts to something more positive when you feel yourself worrying or stressing. It might also be beneficial to remind yourself that you are being watched over. And I know that when you are struggling so much and when you're praying and hoping for something to change, you can start to feel like, is anyone listening to this? Like, is anyone paying any attention? Because I've been asking and hoping, and it seems like no one is listening or helping me in any way. So it might actually help you, group one, when you enter this new job or this new life. Or I keep wanting to say new job, and I keep actually seeing someone sitting down in front of a computer and feeling like, oh, it's my first day at this new company, what's going to happen? So I think that's a big thing for a lot of you, group one, is that it's a new job. I think it could help to imagine the fact, or be aware of the fact, that your spiritual team are always there watching you, not in a weird way, but just always there watching what you do, whether you want to imagine everyone or whether you want to just focus on one aspect of your spiritual team, like your ancestors, your loved ones in spirit, your angels, your patron deities, the ascended masters to which you're aligned, your spirit guides, your higher self even, whoever you maybe resonate the most with or most want to hear from right now. If you imagine them being there and watching you in what you do and wanting to see you thrive, because sometimes we struggle to feel motivated for ourselves, but we can feel more inspired or motivated on behalf of another person. If you become aware of the fact that they are watching you and wanting to see you do well, that can boost your confidence a little bit, or give you that little bit of oomph that you need to push you to do this or to get you through that challenge or that experience. So that could be something you try to do and consciously try to hold in mind when you feel like you're wavering or like you feel vulnerable or like you're struggling. Okay, that was very quick. Who's this? Breed. Yes, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. So this is Goddess Breach coming through for you. She's got this big flame in her hand, reminding you of the inner fire that you have, this drive, this inspiration that you can tap into. Also reminding you, though, to be strong, which I think a lot of people will resonate with, because I just get that you've been sapped of enthusiasm or sapped of energy because of waiting so long for something to come in, or waiting so long for an opportunity. Okay, here we've got the picture. It's a painting of a burning castle, and this woman in the painting is escaping with this little fire truck that's come. This little fire engine is driven up to the painting and is rescuing her. So I love this because it's like jumping from one world into another, which I think really resonates with the message we've received about you having this radical and sudden transformation. It also resonates with the shapeshifter message. And also, I guess, with Sedna as well, because there you were feeling abandoned, and this is saying you are not going to be abandoned. Like, yes, your current life might feel like this castle that's in flames, but this fire engine, whatever that is for you, is going to come for you, and it's going to rescue you and take you somewhere better, take you somewhere safer, somewhere where you have more opportunity to grow, because that is symbolic. That castle engulfed in the flames is symbolic of a situation where you just don't have room to grow anymore, and so it needs to be let go of. And that's, we've got the flame imagery 3 times now, just symbolic of you moving on. Fragmented energy. Wow. The 6 of energy. This is what I was feeling, like you just weren't yourself. You were just feeling so drained, feeling so, and on the base card, which I don't ever really use in readings, but I sometimes look at it for my own reference, you have playing it safe. The Six of Intention, so they're both sixes. And this fragmented energy has left you feeling like, why should I go for things? Like, I have just been getting this feeling that you've been so sapped and drained that you don't have the drive to then say, oh yeah, I'm going to put myself forward for that new job, or yeah, I really want to do this and see where it takes me, because you don't have that feeling of security within yourself. You personally don't feel whole. It's like you don't have that firm base to spring off and give you that enthusiasm to go and put yourself out there. The Akashic field, the one of forces, this vast potential that you now have to grow into, and the garden, the Five of Roses. Now this is interesting because the garden is all about children. Obviously when I see the garden I think about growth, and again your base card is setting your course, the Three of Scrolls, so this energy of you getting out there into the world and finally starting to make important decisions. The Akashic field is about your energy being charged and ready, and you being able to set firm intentions now. But the garden, as well as being about growth, is all about children. So what I was saying earlier about some people struggle sometimes to motivate themselves for themselves, but they do it for other people. For a lot of people, those people are their children. They feel motivated to work for their children because they want better for their children. And sometimes that's even for children that you don't have right now. You feel motivated because you want to build a firm future and foundation for when you do have children, so that you won't have to worry as much about what you can give them. For other people, I feel like this could be even your inner child. Like, I'm doing this for my childhood self who had nothing, or my childhood self who was made to believe this, or who was taught this about themselves. You can be motivated basically by a desire to do better for yourself. Flame of inspiration. Okay, there's just so much in terms of the flame imagery. I can't even comment on it anymore. Obviously the flame, we think about purity and transformation, that process of something being purified and broken down and removed. We also think of inspiration, obviously. We think of that spark of enthusiasm, passion. Could be a lot of fire signs who've chosen this pile, but I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's that you are just having this fiery energy around you. You might be connecting strongly with fire elementals at this time, even. Then over here we've got number 61, Der Götze des Essens, the idol of eating or food. And Der Stille Geist, number 12, the quiet spirit. So finding a space of calm in amongst the turbulence, in amongst the difficulty. The idol of food basically means watch what you're eating. It doesn't mean give yourself a hard time for eating too much or for eating that particular type of food. It means make sure that you are being nourished. Sometimes when we're stressed, we eat a lot more, but it's not necessarily the right food. Sometimes when we're stressed, we don't want to eat at all. You know, that can vary between person, but, you know, that's often a typical stress response, is that we either eat loads or we don't want to eat anything at all because we're just so stressed that we can't focus on it. So it's about making sure that you're nourished with the right foods, that you're getting enough of all of the food groups and not too much of anything, that you're well hydrated as well, that you're not using food or the lack of food as a punishment or reward. Confidence, number 23, it comes with time and practice. And group 1, look at this. Mural, be your own first priority, number 25. And it's a picture that she is drawing of a castle on fire. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That's honestly crazy. Not only is it the fire symbolism again, and then this garden imagery of growth, and it's juxtaposing this real world that she's in with this world that she's left, or this world that's in her mind, this kind of separate world that she's no longer a part of. But it's the castle on fire. That's crazy. Group 1, I love it when there's this kind of synchronicity, but that is really beyond what I expect from my cards. That's really, wow. Okay, there's something in that. There's something here about really honestly leaving behind something, and the burning down is obviously symbolic of like, we never want to go back there. That door is closed. There is nothing for us there anymore. There is nothing for us to return to or learn from. That is done. Seriously. So then from these cards, little tea leaf reading cards, we've got Vase, Secret Admirer. So there could be someone who harbors secret romantic feelings for you, or there could be someone who maybe admires you from afar, not in a romantic sense, but in the sense that like they really admire who you are. They admire how you've gotten through a situation. They admire your accomplishments, but they just don't tell you that. You might even think this person doesn't like you or sneers at you, but deep down they really admire who you are and really respect you. We have Leg, stepping into a new experience. How many times can I say it, Group 1? This is insane. Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. Obviously that also goes for Aries, which is the flame that we've seen repeatedly as well, and potentially anyone born in the Chinese year of the sheep or goat. And dogs, getting together with friends, which also is a zodiac marker for the year of the dog. So it seems like there's support, but there's this just huge message about stepping into a new experience and leaving behind something that just isn't working for you, Group 1. And I honestly don't feel as though you're thinking, oh, but I desperately want to remain. I feel like you're just thinking that because you're afraid of change and the unknown, because you feel run down, you feel vulnerable, you feel fragmented. But honestly, it's like you've been waiting and praying for this fire engine moment to happen, for you to be given your ticket out of this situation, because you've been waiting so long, you've been hoping for change, you maybe haven't known what that looks like in your mind, but you've just been desperate for it, and you're thinking, come on, give me that opportunity and let me know it's the right one so that I feel confident in the decisions that I'm making. Confidence comes with time and practice. You won't feel it straight away, even if you're telling yourself, this is what I should be feeling, you know. It comes with time. Take care of yourself. Okay, let's move on to your charms and dice. Obviously, we've got the new little tokens as well to use. I'm super excited to see what pops out for your reading, Group 1. Genuinely, this is such an exciting reading. Okay, so charms first. So we've got this key, this new beginning, this ticket to a new life, as I just mentioned, solving problems. Oh, you've got another one. Okay, 2 keys. That's even better. We have the Black Obsidian Ball, which is symbolic of basically getting the truth in a situation that's previously felt shrouded in mystery, obscure, hidden from view. We have Mischief, this cute little bunny charm, which also sort of brings to mind children. And then on the garden, which was all about children, you have the baby boy. Okay, so this is really about your children, your future children, or your inner child, and doing it for them, as well as doing it because it's right for you. You deserve it. And like I said, you can think of your spiritual team watching you, because they do watch you, and you might not be aware of that, but you can remind yourself of it and how much they want to see you thrive. We have the olive branch, harmony, forgiveness, peace in relationships, the Pegasus charm, divine inspiration, rescue, healing. We have the British coin, so something to do with Britain or England. Maybe there's a company that's British that you want to work for. Maybe you're looking to relocate. Maybe you're looking to remain in the UK rather than move elsewhere if you already live here. Maybe you've been thinking, should I just pack it all in and look for opportunities elsewhere? And actually, you'd be better off staying here. We have the skeleton. Skeletons in the closet, things from your past that make you feel ashamed, make you feel upset, that hold you back in some way. And the perfume bottle, feeling attractive, feeling drawn towards something or attracting things towards you. So a little bit of manifestation energy there, or being pushed down a certain path. We'll do your dice next, and then we'll do your tokens. Let's get your pre-roll dice. Okay, so we're rolling the first set of dice for you, the fantasy dice. There's number 1 again coming in, and we're going to roll 7 of them for you. So. Okay, wow. Right, so we've got the demon. Battling your demons, that is landing on fragmented energy, those things that are causing you to feel less than, to feel like you're just not whole. We've got the Queen of Swords, someone who is defending themselves, their property, their life. This need to be strong. We've also got the Crown, which obviously is symbolic of the Queen. The Crown is sovereignty. Obviously that's Queen Elizabeth there as well. Sovereignty. Basically doing what you feel is right for you. There might be lots of people in your life who try and advise you to do a certain thing. Friends, family, friends, colleagues, mentors. They might advise you to do a certain thing. They might say, look, this is the best option for you. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. But ultimately, what only matters is how you feel about this. If it's a new job or a new relationship, it's only going to affect you. Or if you have a partner and or children, it's going to affect them as well. It's not going to affect the person that says to you, oh, I think you should do this. That's great. Thanks for your advice. What I really need to do is listen to myself, because you need to understand what feels right for you. If you're getting big put off vibes from a situation, then it may not be the best thing for you. If you're feeling curious, but you think your insecurities are holding you back, then maybe that's something to explore. Okay, we've got the cottage here, sanctuary, this feeling of wanting to just stay in your comfort zone because you feel vulnerable, which I've picked up on throughout the reading. Then the wizard, the magician, your ability to do things by yourself. You are so much more capable than you give yourself credit for, Group 1. There's a real issue here with needing to work through those insecurities. Then we've got Icarus flying too close to the sun. This worry about hubris, this worry about, am I being arrogant? Oh, there's a worry thread there as well. Where did that come from? Okay, well, that ties in well with what we're saying, and the worry is actually landing in the fire, so it's like consigning it to the violet flame, like we mentioned before, letting it burn away. This fear of am I asking too much? Is my desire too much? Am I being arrogant? Am I getting ideas above my station? I genuinely don't think that's the case, Group 1. I feel like that is just the insecurity that is causing a blockage in your psyche. And then over here, the perfect dice, Mount Olympus, symbolic of how there are so many deities, angels, beings watching over you right now. When we think of Mount Olympus, we think of the gods looking down on earth at everything that's happening, the assembly of gods. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the Greco-Roman gods that are watching over you, or that any of those are your patron deities. Obviously, we've got a Celtic deity, Breed. We do have Gaia, who's Greco-Roman, but then we also have Sedna, who is Inuit. So there seems to be quite a mixture of influences here. But there is just so many beings watching over you, group one, and you might not be feeling it. Like I said, you might feel like you're just screaming into the void, talking to no one when you pray or when you ask for help, but genuinely they are there, and you're going to realize that soon. So group one, now we're going to finish up with both sets of the lovely tokens that I got earlier. So let me put my hand in the first bag. Group one. And then the second bag. Okay, so let me see what we've got. So from the Eye of the Beholder, we've got roadworks over here, or roadblocks even. Third-party interference, much patience is required, work must be done before moving forward, which is basically what we got from the King Solomon card about needing to just deal with this issue and understand where it's coming from so that you don't take it forward into this new opportunity, into the fire engine, so to speak. And then Zen, which obviously fits nicely, taking an inner journey, time to meditate and pray, prioritize mental and physical health. But to me, it's also about trying to remain calm when you're faced with difficulty or when you feel like there are issues that are presenting themselves to you everywhere. Then over here we've got number 19, the Frog Prince. So again, that symbol of the crown. And the Frog Prince in the guidebook says, don't be fooled by appearances, diamond in the rough. And to me, that is true. It's like you're worth more than you realize just because you think you look like the metaphorical frog, like you don't have a great life or like you don't feel happy with where you are right now. That doesn't mean that that's your full potential, group one. So really, I think you could afford to be a lot more, a lot less humble, I would say, and a lot more confident in who you are. Then you've got number 90, the beach scene. Holidays, warm weather, relax, in need of a getaway. And then number 95, the mug. Mug of coffee, wake up and smell the coffee, take a break. So there's a couple of things there about needing to just take some time to work out what's going on, not put so much pressure on yourself, I think, as well. And then the coffee is like realizing all the culmination of these messages of realizing your worth, realizing that you are worth more than you currently think, realizing that you're worth more than you might expect. So what a beautiful reading. Group one, I am so pleased that you got these messages. Thank you so much for being here and watching this and being a part of this reading. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of the reading, because I would love to hear from you. And please do like, share and subscribe as well. Check out all of my links below in the description box or in the comment that I post in the comments section if you would like to engage more with my work or get to know me better. And basically see what I do. I have wish lists there for anyone who wants to donate to the channel. I've got my PayPal link for tips and donations. I have a Patreon page where I run an astrology course, and there's lots of other giveaways and goodies that you can get over there. I offer private readings and healing sessions and other services over on Etsy. And we have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations. So if you'd like to get 10% off your first order of handmade crystal jewelry, which is infused with intentions to bring the right energy into your life, then use the link below to validate the discount code. And then once you've chosen your lovely jewelry, you can use the discount code Violet at checkout to get that 10% off. They also have free worldwide shipping. Thank you so much again for being here. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there, group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose number 30, the Juggler, and the Tarot of the Magical Forest, this is going to be your reading. Firstly, let's take a look at the Juggler card in the guidebook and see what that tells us. So the Juggler says, many projects in the air, aspirations and inspirations everywhere, action to take, commitments to make, and yet another will soon join the fray. Say yes, do not delay, it will all work out in the perfect way. So basically a very busy time, a time when you feel like you are literally juggling lots of things, maybe lots of responsibilities, lots of projects. Maybe you have lots of ideas that you'd like to put into action and you're at a bit of a Seven of Cups stage, to use a tarot metaphor, where you're not really sure which option is the right one for you. Let's get your cards. Okay. So we have the Tower, Seven of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Six of Wands, two sixes, and Seven of Pentacles, two sevens as well. Wow. Okay, so yeah, we've got the Tower, which suggests that there's a lot of things going on in your life. There's a lot of change. Everything might feel quite far outside of your control right now. There's also the Seven of Swords, which suggests that you're going through some doubts, some mistrust of the universe or of your current situation, maybe of other people in your life. And the Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Six of Wands just kind of makes me feel like you've been working very hard and you're waiting to see your reward, or you're starting to see some reward, but it still feels like you haven't quite got what you want just yet. And so there's still some waiting to go, and you feel like, look, I've put in all of this effort, I've been a good person, I've worked hard. When am I going to get to a point where I feel happy, or when am I going to see some benefit from what I've done, like a sufficient kind of benefit from what I've been doing? And this could be in your career, or it could be in your healing, or in your personal goals, your family life, your love life. It doesn't have to be just working in terms of like career work. Hinenue Tepo, trust. That makes a lot of sense. I think that's a big theme for a lot of people right now, is learning to trust. Definitely I'm seeing with your Tower, obviously a time of big change, and also with your Seven of Swords that you are struggling to trust people, or you're struggling to know who to trust, what to trust. Do I even trust my intuition anymore? That's the feeling that I'm getting. Two cards from the King Solomon cards, number 21, first of all, and number 27. Have to check in the guidebook for those meanings. 21 says responsibility, accountability, direct observation of your life without reservation, making conclusions and correcting all faults. A positive progress is expected only after taking personal or collective responsibility, preparing contingency plans in order to have a safety net in case of need. The advice is take responsibility, success is in your hands, be willing to accept all the outcomes of your actions for better or worse, prepare the ground well in advance to avoid complications in the future. And then 27 says truth and justice. Justice comes to light, the truth is revealed, favourable court verdicts, winning a legal issue, fairness, discovery of absolute truth. And the advice is do not settle for less than the absolute justice. Justice is on your side. Fight for your word at all means because you shall win. Struggle to bring out the truth. Consult in a professional to help you in legal matters and expose the truth that stands behind a visible illusion. Now, obviously, that seems to bring in the Seven of Swords again, and also the Tower. Again, it's like this crashing down to earth after a time of illusion. It's like starting to understand something that you used to believe, but that wasn't quite right, or starting to see the truth behind a situation where you didn't have all of the information before, or you weren't sure exactly what was going on. Kindred partnership, the One of People. You do have support around you. I'm also seeing letting go as the base card there, so it's possible that you've been needing to let go of relationships, of partnerships, and that's been part of the struggle, is letting people leave your life. Moon mist, astral travel, visions, visitations. This, I think, is partly what's going on with the struggling to trust your intuition message. I really feel like you're asking yourself, what do I do? What do I trust? How do I know what's right and what's wrong? sorceress, rituals, power, will, number 3. Yeah, you've worked so hard, group 2, and it's like, I've put so much of my energy out there, I've set my intentions, I've used my willpower, but where's my result that I've been hoping for? Your ancestors and past over loved ones say focus on the positives, you know there are many. Number 29, so try and remain positive, try and focus on what you have achieved. Be creative, look for ways to build, grow, and manifest. Number 36. Okay. Let's try and use your creativity here to see a way through the situation. The Juggler says that you're more than capable of dealing with lots of different responsibilities and situations all at once. It's just finding the way to do that. Solar light upgrade, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, willpower. That's great. That suggests that you're going to be increasing in confidence soon, which is literally what it seems you've been asking for. Group 2, this desire to increase your faith, your trust, your confidence, both in yourself and in the world. This is all part of the lesson of that experience. The solar light upgrade is basically challenging your beliefs so that you can become more grounded in your own confidence and in your own faith. And then that word willpower, when we've already had will over there as well, I think that's really important, is where you're setting your intentions and where you're focusing your willpower. Whoa. Okay, so you got this card, which group 1 got as well. This woman fleeing a painting of a castle on fire, and this little fire engine has come to pick her up and take her into a new world. And then you also got this similar message in a way of like one world entering our world, of a girl who's sleeping, she's got a book here, and then out comes the genie. So these are both like being rescued, aren't they? Being saved from a difficult time. And there's the base card, this girl who is trapped in this tear bubble. It's a room, we can see she's got a window there, but she feels trapped in sad or painful memories, trapped in a time or a space that just doesn't feel right for you. Like I talked about this at great length with group 1, this woman leaving the castle in flames, and we've heard inner fire here. Group 1's had a lot to do with fire. There was a lot of flame imagery, but this is like, it's leaving behind a situation where you can't grow anymore. And it's also leaving behind a situation where the fire is basically indicating that we can't return there. We're really closing the door on that experience. We are really sure that we can't go back to that. And we're being saved, we're being rescued, brought into a new reality. And then equally, we've got the cross reality here of the genie coming out of the lamp illustration in the book while the girl is sleeping. Maybe a wish is going to be granted soon for you. You might even want to make a wish while you look at the genie card. Odin, psychic insight, your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. That's great, because what was I just saying about you feeling like you weren't sure that you could really trust your intuition, or that you could really trust yourself and the messages that you were receiving? I think that's lovely to get that confirmation. One of keys, the architect, having this vision for your future, having this understanding of what it is that you want to build. And I can see so much that you've put a lot of effort in already, group 2. That's why it's getting frustrating for you now, is because you're not getting the return that you wanted, or the return that you hoped you would have received by now on all of the hard work that you've put in. It's understandable that you feel frustrated. It's like, I keep doing this, or I keep fighting for this, and I just don't seem to get there. Salted caramel, performances, costumes, mischief. How similar is that as well to the sort of juggler imagery as well? That's really interesting. performances kind of makes me think of pretending everything's okay, or putting on your best show in terms of, this is me working hard and then I'm sure to get the benefit. Costumes has that kind of energy as well. I'm wondering as well if some of you are maybe working multiple jobs, and it's like, you know, here I am doing this and doing that as well, and when am I going to feel like I'm pulling myself out of this rut? Or when am I going to feel like I've really arrived? Der Götze der Grausamkeit, number 49, the idol of cruelty. And then we have number 20, emotionale Reife, emotional maturity. Okay, so group 2, you have a lot of emotional maturity. I don't know if you can see it very well in the image, but there is like a little newborn baby there that the man is kind of holding, not quite in his arms, but also not quite in his body, if you see what I mean. It's kind of, again, this image of something being in more than one world at once, or something crossing from one world into another world. Emotional maturity. Yes, I see you as being emotionally mature. I see you as being someone who is strong enough to get through this situation, but it's starting to really drain you. It's starting to drag on to the point where you're getting very frustrated. I'm literally seeing someone's heels digging into the sand as they're being pulled forward. Like, you just feel like there's so much friction that's slowing you down, and you don't understand why. You don't understand where it's coming from, or you just are like, I've worked so hard, I've been so mature, I've put in my effort, and yet I'm still being hit with these challenges. And that's where the idol of cruelty comes in, is you feel like you're just a slave to this difficult series of experiences. And like it's just going to continue this vicious cycle. I am blessed is this lovely card coming out for you here, reminding yourself of the positives, of the things that you do have, that you are grateful for. That's possibly where the emotional maturity is coming in, that you have the ability to do that. You have that, what's the word? It's not foresight, but I guess insight into your life. Wow, wings. You never needed those wings to fly. Number 8, I love that, because this reminds me immediately of that base card that we got of the girl who was trapped in a room in a tear bubble, and then it's also, again, like stepping out of one reality into another. I really, really like that. You never needed those wings to fly also makes me think like you've been holding on to a belief about maybe what success is, what it looks like, what method you need to use, or what route you need to take in order to achieve a certain goal. And actually you can get there in a different way, and that different way is easier. You might not be able to see it right now, group 2, but I think you feel so frustrated because you've been working so hard, and I can see you've put in so much of your effort, and you're thinking, you know, I should be getting my reward for this, when actually there's a route to success or to your goal that is easier, which you could be doing, but you're just not able to see it at the moment. It's also about freeing yourself of burdens. Okay. So then we have Jug. Light-hearted, carefree time. Forest, muddled, unclear thinking. Pale, time to get out of a situation. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. And then Crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. So a new experience. Some of you, maybe it is a fertility situation, because now that's the second time that we've had this sort of baby imagery. But I think for a lot of you, it's to do with your work or particular goals that you've set yourself, and you're just struggling to reach them. What I like about the Jug card, light-hearted, carefree time, is that it seems to have a resonance with this mischief message over here on salted caramel ice cream. And so maybe that is like a very literal message for some of you, that you're going to be going to the theatre or the cinema or some kind of performance, a concert, maybe something that's going to lift you out of your situation and lift your spirits and then leave you feeling like a lot better once you come out of it. Sometimes once we just are pulled out of our situation, even just for a few hours, it really helps to shift our mindset, and it can give us inspiration, because once we stop looking at a situation so hard, that's often when the inspiration comes. That moment of epiphany often comes when we stop searching for it, and that's really frustrating and really annoying, but it's often the case. So group 2, let's get your charms on top now. Don't forget that we've got the dice and also the new tokens to use as well. So I'm really excited to get all of your extra messages today. I think you've got a really encouraging reading. For some reason, I love genies so much. I just always feel excited when I see them. So group 2, you've got the love and relationships ball, the rose quartz ball. That's really lovely. So for some of you, there is this important partnership on your mind, or love is really on your mind. That could also go back to the fertility message that I mentioned, but also the things that we've picked up on about who can I trust, whom can I place my trust in. We also have the key, this new beginning, this new door, literally like the ticket to this new experience. We've got the Christmas tree. Funnily enough, landing on the forest card. Christmas tree is about winter time. Then we've got the toxic person or situation charm. And again, it seems to have a resonance with me with those masks, like the happy and sad theatrical masks. There's also the blue heart, which is about sadness, emotional. Obviously, all sadness is emotional, but it's like a really heavy emotional sadness where you're really carrying it in your heart space and it's really weighing down on your chest. There's the letter B as well. That's actually landing on focus on the positive, so that could be a clue as to something that you're happy about or thankful for. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's just a word that's going to come to you, or a place even. But I definitely see a lot of you have been dealing with like an untrustworthy person or a toxic situation that's just been sapping your life force. And this is kind of coming through again because we've got the Russian doll, the Matryoshka, which is about pushing down your feelings and pretending that everything's okay, painting on the happy face. Going back to the masks, they've really caught my attention since I saw them. And also the sheath, which is about hiding something. Whether you're doing it maliciously or just because you want to keep something private, it's about pushing something down or keeping it hidden or deliberately not talking about it. So a lot of you are going to resonate with that, I feel. Also, the Russian doll obviously is about any connection to Russia for you or the people around you, whether it's a first name or surname, family history, language, work, interest, etc. Just take that on board if that's a particular validation for you. Then your final charm is the dog with his paw up. This is a zodiac sign for people born in the year of the dog, but it's also symbolic of wanting something. When the dog puts their paw up, it's usually because they want something. They want to get a treat, or they want to perform, again that word perform, in order to get something. And you might feel like you've been that performative dog, literally. Like, I feel like you think you're like a circus creature that's been jumping through hoops, you know, to eventually get your reward, but that reward hasn't been coming, and that's what's been so frustrating. I think you know what you want, or you have a clear idea of what it looks like. You just can't wait for it to get to you, and there's just this disconnect because you're like, look at what I've done, and yet here I am still with empty hands. Let's get your dice on top, group 2, and then we'll do your tokens at the end. Okay, so we're going to roll the third set of dice for you, the mystery dice. Let's get those. And we're rolling 7 of them for you. I think group 1 got 7 dice as well. There is a little bit of overlap with group 1. The general situation is quite different, but the overall feeling is similar, and you do have some cards obviously that are repeated or similar. So if you really were struggling to pick between group 1 and 2, you might also find some messages for you in group 1. Wow. Okay, so we've got the person who literally has their lip zipped, like they're not talking about something. So again, there's this thing that you're keeping to yourself or that someone has kept from you. It's either you keeping something private or not wanting to open up because you don't want to be vulnerable, or it is someone else who has been holding something back or lying to you in some way, because the Seven of Swords is always about suspicion, doubt, and feeling like someone is untrustworthy, or like you can't put your faith in a person or situation. There's stuff that we don't know, and that's showing up with the blood splatter as well, because I always take that dice to mean it's complicated. It's a messy situation. There's a lot of different angles or sides to it. We've got the love heart there, so again, this symbol of love or relationships. We've got the brain, rational thinking, the TV, entertainment, leisure time. Goes back to this jug and the salted caramel ice cream. The troll, someone watching you, being very aware maybe of other people's opinions or how other people might react to what you have to tell them. I think that's to do with the not wanting to open up again, like you don't want to deal with people's reactions, or you don't want to have people's pity, or you don't maybe aren't really sure how people are going to react, so you don't just want to bring any more turbulence or uncertainty into your life. And finally, the person who is kind of here in the physical world, and then there's like this dotted version of themselves as well. Now you got the astral projection and visitation card, which is crazy, so that could be something you're working on. It could be about reality shifting, because we're seeing that in the reading. It can also just be about you going from one like time in your life, one big lifestyle change, into another. But for some of you, it could also be about this person who seems to be mirroring you or seems to be very heavily influencing your life. There's a lot of similarities between the two of you. So please take that dice however that resonates with you, because there's a couple of different ways that you could understand that. And yeah, I don't want to say this is the definitive way, because I know that obviously a lot of people's situations are going to be very different. Let's use your tokens now. Really excited to use these. So there's 2 sets. Let's use these ones first. Putting my hand in the bag. Okay, so what have we got there? Okay, and then we'll just do the other ones, and then I'll tell you what they mean, and also look in the guidebooks as well. Group 2. Okay. From the first set, you've got the octopus, the snowflake, and ESP, extrasensory perception. So let's look first at the octopus. Number 41, flexibility, creativity, intelligence, unpredictability. For me, the octopus is also symbolic of having lots of things to do, like lots of different responsibilities, lots of different projects on the go at once. So it is literally the juggler, just in a different form, because I have octopus charms and that's what they've always meant for me. Snowflake says, number 61, one of a kind, very original, unique, winter. Obviously we did get the Christmas tree, so there does seem to be a winter connection there for you. And then number 102, ESP, clairvoyant, using your intuition. And literally, what have we said about you not feeling as though you can trust your intuition, or not really being sure if your intuition is on target right now? It feels like your confidence and your faith in that has been kind of shaken by recent events. Then we've got Queen from the second set. Perceptive with strong will, matriarch, intelligent and fair. That's obviously also a symbol of the divine feminine. And we think of the queens in the tarot when we see that. I also think of queen as being like sovereign, like someone who has the power to make decisions about their own life without anyone trying to force them to do something differently. So that might resonate with you as well, that you're choosing now not to be pushed around by anyone. And then sunbeam, ray of hope, divine protection, angelic and elemental intervention. And sunbeam, again, I just think of joy and happiness and like, yeah, a ray of hope, definitely. So I hope this reading has given you that hope, because this is what I feel is the main message, that you've been drawn to this because you feel so lost and so like disheartened with the work that you've done and the result that you haven't received yet. So I do think that that result is on its way. The Seven of Pentacles is about waiting, but there's just a lot of stuff to resolve here in terms of how you're feeling and what control you can take about that. Obviously, we can't always control the circumstances in our life, but we can control how we respond to them to a large extent. So this is part of your lesson with your solar light upgrade there. Again, the sort of sunbeam. I missed that, but yeah, solar light upgrade, of course. It's to do with you feeling more confident and more stable in your own power. So I really hope this has been helpful for you. Group 2, I hope you've enjoyed your reading. It's a lovely message to be able to pass on to you. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this reading. Have a lovely rest of your day and take care of yourselves. And I would love to hear from you below. If you enjoyed the reading, I'd love to hear what you thought of it, how it resonated with you. Please like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed the video, because that really does help me out. And if you'd like to get more involved with the work that I do or support me in any way, check out my description box and the comment that I post below, because they are always full of links. I have wish lists there for new tarot decks. I have my PayPal link for tips and donations. I run my Etsy page for private readings and healing sessions and other services. That's linked below. Also linked below is my Patreon, where I run an astrology course and where you can get access to exclusive content, giveaways, all kinds of goodies and rewards over there. And we have got a discount running still with Modern Day Manifestations. So if you'd like to get 10% off handmade crystal jewelry infused with intentions to help you bring the right energies into your life, then use the link below. That will validate the discount code. And once you've picked your lovely jewelry, just use the discount code Violet at checkout and you'll get 10% off your first order plus free worldwide shipping. So thank you so much again for being here, Group 2, and sticking around till the end. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose number 5, Brilliant Virgin, and the Sun and Moon Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So let's first take a look at Brilliant Virgin and see what the guidebook has to say about that gorgeous card. In a world where we are bombarded daily with differing opinions and ideas, remaining true to you and your own point of view is nothing short of brilliant. Let go of confusion, distortion, comparison, and compromise. You do not need to compare yourself to another or measure up to anyone or anything else. What matters to you and your successful life journey is to be in touch with your own truths. You know what you feel, no matter what anyone else says or believes. Stay true to you. That's really beautiful. So this is all about your own personal journey and not how that measures up with anyone else's journey or anyone else's opinions. See, there's a charm there left over from Group 2. Okay, Group 3. Wow. Okay, I just dropped about half the deck, so let's start again with that. Group 3. Can tell lots of messages are going to be coming out for you today. Okay. We've got the Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords in this deck. Then we have the Five of Pentacles, Worry. And the Queen of Swords. Okay. So, yeah, I can see how this matches up with the Brilliant Virgin message. You've got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius showing up here. It feels like you are worried about being inadequate. It feels like you are worried about lacking. There's especially, I feel, a focus here on career and how people see you in terms of success and status and your career path. There's just like a feeling of, you know, what if I'm not earning a certain amount of money and people, you know, don't see me as successful, or I don't feel successful for not earning a certain amount of money? Or what if I end up working in this kind of career path and people look down their noses at me? Or what if I really don't like it and I really regret the choice that I've made? Like I really feel like there's this, I just keep hearing bubble, actually, like it's bubbling up within your body, this feeling of, oh my God, what do? I don't want anyone to, you know, not see me as successful. I personally don't want to regret the choices I'm going to make or have made. This is really, really something that's bugging you. Group 3, let's take a closer look, because I think the tarot cards are pretty straightforward. Aradia, defense. Okay, so this need to defend yourself and your choices, this need to justify your decisions that you feel being placed on you. Wow. Two cards from the Kabbalah cards, the King Solomon seal cards, number 13 and number 32. Okay, we'll take a look in the guidebook to see what they are all about. These are really good at taking a look at what's going on in your life currently in terms of energy. Number 13 is power, strength, and determination. Sturdiness and strength, great enthusiasm, power struggle, aggressive confrontation, ability to achieve objectives through momentum and ascension, standing back on your feet after defeat, failure and delays will not stop you or cause you to withdraw. Advice is invest a lot of energy in what you do, demonstrate willpower and determination, go with things without giving up, and do not let anyone convince you that you're wrong, which is perfect because that was exactly what Brilliant Virgin was telling you. And then 32 says time, speed, slowness, time out. There's time for everything, no need to rush. Matters are examined in depth while taking all the time necessary. Taking a break, proceeding slowly. The situation or the solution for the situation will come when time goes by. Things are going slowly and time is working in your favor. And the advice for that card is act with moderation and be patient, basically. So this is interesting because the swords cards are the fastest of all of the cards when we're talking about time and movement. So it does feel like you want to move quickly, or that you feel as though you're under a lot of time pressure. I think this is strongly to do with career, but it could be maybe for some of you to do with other things. But there's a big worry here about how you look, how you come across, not in a superficial way of like, you know, oh, I don't want to make a bad impression, but literally like, I don't want to be seen as a failure, or I don't want to feel like I've let myself down, or for people to be like, oh, did she just end up there? Like, you don't want to end up. Group 3, that's what I feel is racing through your mind. I don't want to end up, and I don't want my journey to seem like it's gone down a dead end. I want to feel like I'm moving up in the world, like I'm achieving something, like I've done something that people can be proud of me for. Diana, focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Okay, so Diana, also known as Artemis in the Greek tradition, is all about what you are focusing on and what you are trying to achieve. She's extremely independent. I think she fits quite nicely with the Queen of Swords vibe of someone who fiercely defends her independence. That word defense coming through again. And I think group 3, you're the kind of person that doesn't like to rely on anyone else. And so you know that it's only going to affect you, but at the same time, you want people to have good thoughts about you, and you also want to feel like you're doing well. You want that sense of satisfaction or that sense of recognition, having received recognition. So your ancestors and passed over loved ones say, let us hug you. Close your eyes as we hold you close. Number 30, that is a really sweet, sweet card. And then number 28, believe in yourself and your abilities. We believe in you. And this is lovely because this is where we are, isn't it, group 3? We are at a point where it's like, I know what I want to do, or I know that this is what I'm going for. This is where my intention has been focused on, but can I do it? Can I bring it about? Again, I'm seeing this being very strongly connected to work and career. Maybe about going for a particular job and just being so worried that you can't do it or that you won't be accepted. Maybe it's about retraining for something and being fearful that you've made the wrong choice and that it'll take you years to catch up. But here, this is what I'm really drawn to, is this card, because of just what I was saying about you never being someone who likes to rely on other people. You want to just get on with things by yourself. And right now, yes, you are making life changes for yourself, and that's wonderful, and you should be independent, and that's wonderful. But your spiritual team are seeing a vulnerability within you. They are seeing you needing a hug, basically, needing someone to, you know, just hold you and tell you that it's going to be okay. And that's what they want to do for you right now. Stargate heart. Heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity. Wow. And Sirius star blessings. Yes. Proceed, be seen, push through. So this is a big, big time for you. Group 3. There is a heart chakra opening going on for you right now. An activation of the heart chakra where you are learning to be more vulnerable. This was a bit of a theme in group 1 as well. There's a similar theme about lacking in confidence and worrying about how life choices are going to impact themselves. So if you were really struggling to pick between group 1 and 3, you might want to watch group 1 as well. Because I do see a link here. And this feeling of being vulnerable and not liking that feeling, but also needing to acknowledge it, because that is part of the heart chakra opening for you to be able to give and receive more love and kindness. That heart, it's almost like, you know, that bit of the Grinch where his heart grows 2 sizes or something. It's like that. And that's not to say that you were a mean person before, but it's the energy surrounding your heart chakra growing in strength, and that can feel very confronting when that happens. It makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel scared as to what's happening. You can sense a lot of shift. It can often be deeply, deeply emotional and can cause problems in relationships because you might be simultaneously wanting to run towards people with your arms open and at the same time also wanting to run away and not open up about your feelings. So allow any confusing emotions to unfold. Group 3, try not to fight them. If you are feeling vulnerable or scared or weak in any way, that's normal, and I want you to remind yourself that that's normal when you feel that way. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel restless or confused, or even to not really know what you're feeling. It's okay to feel numb as well. If that's how you're feeling, then that's how you're feeling. That's your energy. And the Sirius star blessings just shows that this is a very important time for you, where you're basically being given the green light to push ahead, to go with what you're thinking, to go with what's on your mind. Cookie dough, yes, building, evolution, development, building for your future. And that makes me think of Diana again with her message of setting your intention and set your sights high. Don't limit yourself in what you choose to wish for. Initiate. Number 14, curiosity, open, warm. You could also pronounce that initiate, I guess, as well as like an imperative. Starting this journey. Starting something new. And there is a curiosity there. Like, again, I keep being drawn to that monkey who's sort of peeping while they're being hugged and cuddled, that childlike curiosity of what's going on. Could I do that? That's interesting. I want to give it a try. But just this fear of where that will lead you, and will I regret that? I don't want to make decisions that I'm going to regret. Trust. Wow. Prosperity, freedom. Beautiful. So trust in your feelings, group 3, really. yeah, I think it's normal for you to be feeling unsettled or unsure, given what you're currently experiencing on this energetic level. But it's important that you trust. And prosperity freedom is just showing that this will have a wonderful outcome for you, and that that's what you should expect, is this wonderful outcome. There's a lot of lilacs and blues, especially light blue, in your reading. It was present from the very first card. Then we have this card, the rainy street, and then inside one building there seems to be a bright sunshine. It almost looks like it's a complete, like, wide open space with bright sunlight. Even through the difficult times, harboring this positivity within you, even if all of the people around you or all of the circumstances around you just point towards negativity, choosing to hold this positive intention or this positive vibration within yourself, choosing optimism, choosing love, choosing joy. The loving man, 5 of people. So there is a masculine around you who is very loving, very caring, very supportive. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's a romantic prospect for you, just that there is a masculine around you who really cares about you and wants to help you and wants to support you through this tough time. You might already be very aware of who that is, or this might be news to you, but just know that there is this masculine there who you can lean on for support. Fated meeting, number 7. So you might just bump into someone as well who can give you some advice, or who needs to be the right person at this time in your life. Again, doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic. It could be that you bump into an old friend and maybe they're working in the field that you want to get into, and so they can give you some advice, and it's like, wow, that was so fortuitous that I just happened to bump into them without even planning it. It's that kind of feeling. Unschuld, number 37. Wow, innocence, blamelessness, purity, like the brilliant virgin again. You are so pure, group 3. Einheit, number 18, unity. So you don't actually have any negative cards from this deck. This deck is really, really good at picking up on any issues that are like negatively affecting your life or your psyche, and you don't actually have any. You've got the people in the white clothes, which is symbolic of the Virgin, and you know, we've seen that earlier in your reading as well. Artemis or Diana is very famously a virgin, and then here we've got the purity, innocence, guiltless, blamelessness card. You are not to blame for the way that you're feeling right now. This is not a punishment. This is an opportunity for you to grow. Equally, there's nothing that you have done wrong to bring this situation upon yourself. You might be thinking, you know, I've made wrong choices in the past. This is telling you that you haven't made wrong choices. You've made choices that have gotten you to where you needed to be. And if you do think of yourself as being in any way tainted, then it's important to drop that view of yourself immediately, because it is not helping you. Unity with spirit. Again, you might feel very, very drawn to certain types of virgins at this time. Mother Mary, for example, immediately came to mind with this particular card, but obviously we've also got Lady Diana. We have Lady Athene, for example, as well, also known as Minerva. She is famously virginal as well. You might be drawn to that kind of energy to remind yourself of your purity. You might be drawn to wearing white to remind yourself of that. The base card of this deck was In Gott ruhen as well, number 30, resting in God, being safe in the hands of spirit, being carefully held and protected through this difficult transition. You might feel like they've forsaken you. Again, this was an issue with group 1, feeling like you're praying and no one's hearing you, like there's no one's answering or no one's even listening. But they are there. You might not have felt that presence recently, and that might be causing you to feel confusion or fear, even distress. but they are there. They are doing something for you. It's just not quite appeared for you yet in the physical world. Castle. It's time for healing, not war. Number 30. That fits with the Unity card. And then from this deck we have Barrel. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals, and that's where we have the Five of Pentacles. That is literally the card that talks about a consciousness of lack. We have Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Lovely. Table, hard work ahead. And Torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. How beautiful is that, group 3, when we have the messages of the Stargate heart and the Sirius star blessings as well. That's gorgeous. So group 3, we're going to do your charms now, then we'll do your dice and also your tokens as well. I'm really excited to do the new tokens. We'll do those at the end. Let's see what extra messages we can get for you. This is such a comforting reading. Especially because I can just really feel like your downness, your frustration, again, I want to use the word vulnerability, which is a word I used a lot for group 1, just feeling like, why aren't you here? Why aren't you helping me? Why aren't you listening to my prayers or my requests for help or my requests for a sign, and I feel like that is going to change soon and that this is just a difficult part of your journey. Group 3. So here we've got growth. We also have beauty, blossoming. Again, blossoming and confidence of the sunflower there. That's really lovely. Then we have the bending over backwards charm, like you've been doing so much to bring about a certain outcome and it just doesn't seem to be working. Overcoming obstacles with the snowflake obsidian ball. We have the witch on her broom, magic. Also, moving, transport, travel, and the haunted house. This symbol of something from the past that is haunting you, something that you just can't seem to get out of your head, be it a worry, a person, a memory, a situation, a belief. It just seems to be plaguing you and you can't seem to get rid of it. Then we have the key, a new beginning. Every single reading in this video today has had a key. A ticket to a new experience. It's really, really lovely to see that for everyone because I've been sensing a lot of frustration in the collective recently and a lack of energy and momentum. So it's nice to see that that is not going to last for much longer. So let's do your dice now as well, group 3. Okay, we're rolling the 8th set of dice for you. Those are the Adventure Time dice. Those. And we're rolling 2 of them for you. Okay. Okay, group 3. Okay, so we've got the person who looks very angry, who's ready for a fight, who's like making themselves bigger and stronger in the moment. So this is like you feel frustrated to the point of anger. Like I feel genuinely you're like swinging between feeling so small and vulnerable and down, and then you're swinging to the other end, which is like anger and frustration and like, why is this happening to me, or why is this not coming into my life now? There could also be arguments and disagreements with people around you. at this time as well that are also not helping the situation. It could also be that you just feel more irritable. So small things can really set you off and really make you frustrated. Then you have the Ice King. And when I think of the Ice King, I think of someone who he's a villain in the cartoon, but he's not always intentionally a villain. And we don't, also when we go back into his backstory, we see that he's done things that are very kind and that he has kind of become a villain through circumstances that weren't entirely his own fault. The Ice King is also very lonely. He abducts people in the cartoon because deep down he is lonely. That's why he does it. It's not because he wants to terrorize people or be a villain. It's because he's lonely and because he's trying to fill this Five of Pentacles void within himself with something external. And that's not going to happen. And I feel like that's also this situation, is that you are very reliant on work or maybe a relationship or maybe just a particular goal in your life to give you that sense of value or give you that sense of satisfaction. And ultimately, it has to come from within, is what I'm feeling. And so I'm also picking up on you just feeling small and lonely like the Ice King often does, which has been a big part of your reading so far. So group 3, we're going to finish up with your tokens. We have 2 sets of lovely new tokens. And I'm going to put my hand in the first bag. And now in the second bag. Okay, so let's look at the first lot first. So you've got number 15 there as your first token. That's house, home ownership, status, new residence. So possibly moving house or just looking to buy a house. I feel like the home also strongly suggests feelings of security, which I think is what you're lacking right now. Group 3 is that feeling of inner stability and that feeling of having your feet firmly grounded somewhere that is stable and secure. I've realized that a lot of people are feeling like this recently, so you are certainly not alone. But that is definitely causing a lot of the worries and fears and emotional issues that you're currently experiencing. Then we have stars, hope, enlightenment, inspiration, and that's number 63. I love that, and that fits lovely with Stargate Heart and Sirius Star Blessings, doesn't it? And then you have number 115, stadium. Kind of looks like the Colosseum to me, or Roman theatre. Major public sports, musical or theatrical event. And I think, again, that's bringing us back to this idea of being seen and how people perceive us and how we kind of play out our life on the world stage or in the stage that is life, in the stage that is society, like how our choices and actions and role in the world is viewed from that angle. So all of that definitely seems to ring true with your reading. Then we've got damselfly, swiftness, purity, group 3, finding direction and purpose. There's a lot of airy energy in your reading, like so much of it. Remember, group 3, that you are pure, you are innocent, you are untainted. H2O, adaptability, flexibility, transformation, gentle yet extremely strong. It also flipped over to moral compass, so we can read that one as well if you want. Wisdom and morals, direction, inner guidance. And then finally, rest. Rest and relax your body, exhausted and needing sleep, recovery needed from stress or illness. So the worries are causing you to feel drained, to feel tired all the time. This lack of stability is also making it worse. You might be struggling with stress or burnout or anxiety, etc. And you really need to prioritize your rest and know that it's okay not to make a decision right now, because we've had these messages about patience being a virtue and something that you should try to cultivate. So as much as you might feel like you're being rushed right now or like you're under a lot of time pressure. In actual fact, you have a lot more time than you realize, group 3. And so I think it's important that you focus now on grounding yourself and taking care of yourself in the very near future so that you feel rested and not so wound up and tense and stressed, because that will also mean that you're able to look at the situation much more clearly. So group 3, that's what I'm seeing in your reading. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know below in the comments because I would love to hear from you. Have a lovely rest of your day. Please like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed the video, because that really helps me out an awful lot. And if you're interested in the work that I do and you would like to support me or engage further with my work, then check out the links below in the description box and in the comment that I post in the comments section. I have my wish lists linked there for new tarot decks. I have my PayPal link for tips and donations. I also run a Patreon page for the channel where I have an astrology course and lots of rewards and extra content and giveaways and goodies if you are interested in the work that I do and you enjoy it and would like to support me. I also have my Etsy page for private readings, angel healing sessions, and plenty of other services and products as well. Definitely go and check that out if that interests you. And we still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations, so if you would like to get 10% off handmade crystal jewellery infused with intentions to help you bring the right energies into your life, then use the link below. That link will validate the discount code, and then once you've chosen your gorgeous jewellery, you can apply the discount code VIOLET at checkout and you'll get 10% off your first order plus free worldwide shipping. So thank you so much to them for continuing to offer us that wonderful discount. Have a lovely rest of your day, group 3. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.